Disney World doesn't reward optimism, it rewards preparation. Forget souvenirs, this is survival. Everything in this video has been tested by the AllEars team in Disney World. Rain, heat, and 14-mile park days. If you want any of it for your next trip, just scan the QR code on the screen or grab the link in the description below. Section 1, the storm always wins. At Disney World, it doesn't rain, it attacks. No warning, no mercy, just walls of sideways water that make ponchos look like surrender flags. You can spot the first-timers. They're sprinting for cover with fries in one hand and stroller wheels skidding through puddles. The veterans? We don't run, we armor up, or if you're like me, I just walk confidently wearing no rain gear. But that is probably not what you should do. I'm weird. Here's the truth. Florida weather isn't predictable. It's guaranteed chaos. You don't avoid it, you plan for it. Our reporters have tested everything in the rain, and one piece of gear always comes out on top. The Frog Togs Ultra Light 2 Poncho. It's light, breathable, and doesn't stick to your legs. The parks sell ponchos that disintegrate by day 2. This one outlasts every storm. Just make sure you shake it out and hang it up once you get back to your room so it doesn't get gross, because that's why I don't like using ponchos, because I always forget to do that at home. If you've got a stroller, don't gamble. The Mickey pattern stroller rain cover is the difference between a sleeping kid and a meltdown. It's a sanity saver that keeps your $300 diaper bag from turning into a bucket of rainwater. A rainwater mixed with something potentially worse. You don't put dirty diapers back in a diaper bag. Okay, anyway, this is going great. Up next, saving your feet. Our team survived what they call a full Epcot monsoon thanks to waterproof shoe covers that kept their socks completely dry. They don't look cool. Actually, I disagree. I do think they look cool, but they feel like a miracle. Our reporters who tested them recommended sizing up if you're a half size. One thing I'll warn you about in Walt Disney World, the ground looks pretty everywhere. It's all themed, but some of the textures, some of the surfaces are very slippery. And it really doesn't matter what type of shoe you wear, you could end up slipping and falling. I've done this in Crocs, which are supposed to be great for slippery surfaces. People wear them chefs wear them in the kitchen? I digress. I would just say, because this is changing the texture of the bottom of your shoe, be extra careful when you're wearing these. I do think they look super cool. I also think that it's amazing they keep you completely dry and then they fold up to nothing back in your park bag after the rain stops. And when the clouds can't decide what season it is, the Bowdini Mini UV umbrella is tiny, sleek, and smarter than it looks. One editor swore it dropped the temperature under it by a few degrees. It blocks heat, flips to a rain shield in seconds, and has saved both camera gear and sanity on filming days. And look at this cool pill thing it zips back down into. Everything else you're trying to protect? Gallon Ziploc freezer bags. One for your phone before a water ride, one for that poncho that's dry enough, but it's not, and again, please shake it out and hang it up overnight, and one for everything that's dripping. They cost pennies and save electronics that cost hundreds, even thousands of dollars. You don't outsmart the rain by predicting it, you outsmart it by assuming it's already here. It's not paranoia, it's experience, and that's what we can offer you. We've been through it all and survived to tell the tale, and this stuff has helped us. Section 2, the fire that never goes out. If the rain doesn't get you, the sun will. Florida heat doesn't warn you, it haunts you. By noon, the pavement's radiating, the air feels like soup, and your sunscreen is already somewhere in orbit. Here's the truth. You don't beat this sun by being tough, you beat it by being tactical. Our editors swear by the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Spray SPF 70. It goes on fast, dries clean, and doesn't make your skin feel like candle wax. Or worse, like you just got a massage. Spray, wipe, done. Reapply every 2 hours, even in shade. But this is what I want to say about walking around in Disney World every day around families that are using spray sunscreen. please be conscious of where you're doing it, because sometimes it'll happen in a quick service restaurant. Somebody will be spraying it right next to my table and I'll be trying to eat my food. Or I see people outside just doing it in a queue, like standing the places where most people are congregated around them. Someone will choose to pull out the spray sunscreen and start using it. Be that conscious fellow guest and just maybe step out of the way a little bit. Get your family sprayed down and blended. And sunscreen is so important. And this is such a convenient, effective product. But just make sure you're being conscientious of your fellow park guests. Like me. For your face, the Sunbum Mineral Face Stick SPF 50 is the move. Smooth, water resistant, and doesn't smear across your phone when you have to check your Lightning Lane reservations. And there's the one burn nobody talks about, your lips. The Kula Organic Lip Balm SPF 30 saves that skin you never think about until it's too late. Every All Ears filming day, we rely on the Supergoop Resetting Powder SPF 35. It dusts right over sweat or makeup so you can reapply without starting over. No excuses, no reset, no shine. It's the team's magic wand in July. And just to clarify, this isn't actually a makeup product. This is something everyone in the family can use. It does mattify the skin slightly. It takes away some of the oil and grease and some of the sweat, but it is a sunscreen in a powder form. It makes it really convenient and kind of a clean way to apply sunscreen on your face throughout the day, especially in a theme park. And when you lose the fight anyway, redemption lives in a bottle of Fruit of the Earth 100% aloe vera gel. The clear, thick kind. Keep it in your resort fridge. The first chilled layer on burned skin, that's forgiveness in gel form. Hydrate before you're thirsty. Eat shade like it's a buffet. If a line spills outside, angle toward the nearest fan or mister. Heat stroke doesn't feel dramatic, it feels stupid. The sun wins eventually, but not today. Not if you prepare like someone who's already lost before. That's defense disguised as comfort. Section 3, the pavement that fights back. Disney World looks like fun until you check your step count. 10 miles, sometimes 15, all on concrete hot enough to fry optimism. Here's the truth. The most magical place on Earth is secretly a marathon in mouse ears. Our reporters have tested every running shoe we could get our hands on, and the Hoka Clifton 10 is the one that keeps coming back from the parks with 5-star reviews and no blisters. It's engineered for maxed out shock absorption and a wide, stable platform built for all-day walking. Our reporters have worn these through 14-hour park days. They're the closest thing we've found to cheating the pavement. Break them in, though, for a week before your trip, and if you can, rotate 2 pairs during your trip. One dries while the other works. That's the rhythm of survival. Next, stop friction before it starts. Body Glide Original Anti-Chafe Balm isn't glamorous, but it's armor. One swipe and your thighs, heels, and shoulders are friction-proof. Every skeptic becomes a believer by 3 p.m. When the damage is already done, Dr. Scholl's blister cushions save the day. They seal like second skin, cushion the pain, and keep you walking when most people would be limping to the exit. We've filmed entire park days because of these things. After the park, recovery matters just as much as prevention. EEP recovery compression socks aren't fun to put on, but they push blood flow back where it belongs. Pull them on before bed and you'll wake up like your feet got the deluxe resort treatment. And then there's BioFreeze Gel, the unofficial scent of exhausted reporters. It stings, then cools, then convinces your body it can do it all over again tomorrow. You can't buy new feet, but you can protect the ones you brought. Start the routine on day 1 and not after the pain starts. That's not weakness. It's being smart. It's longevity disguised as foot care. Section 4, the air you have to earn. Florida heat does not fade. It keeps coming. Every hour adds another layer until the magic starts melting off your face. Here's the truth. The guests who last the longest aren't tougher. They're cooler. Our editors have tried every bottle on the market, And the one that actually keeps water cold through a Florida afternoon is the Hydro Flask 32-ounce insulated bottle. It held ice for 6 hours in direct sun during our July tests. Fill it with the free ice water from any quick service spot, ask for a cup of ice from one of the quick service locations, and fill the bottle with water from one of the refill stations. And suddenly you're drinking something you actually want to finish. The Mission Cooling Towel is the wet paper towel's evolved cousin. Snap it, drape it, and it stays cool for 20 minutes, longer if you re-wet it at every restroom stop. One of our reporters called it the only reason I survived the fireworks tonight. Then there's the Jizu Life neck fan. Hands-free, rechargeable, and quiet enough for filming. It looks like futuristic headphones, but it's kept our team alive as we've covered parades in direct sunlight more times than we can count. Just remember, long hair and spinning fans are not friends. Shade is strategy. Don't forget the Baudini Mini UV Umbrella. It's small enough to vanish in your bag and smart enough to block both rain and sun. And when the dehydration sneaks up on you, that irritability, the brain fog, the sudden urge to fight your family in line for pirates, that's when liquid IV hydration packets save the day. I basically live on these, especially in the summer months. They turn basic water into a lifeline. Now for a game changer that I personally tested. The Amkin waist fan doesn't just blow air, it changes your body temperature. You clip it to your belt or bag and it shoots a steady breeze straight up your shirt. It looks ridiculous. I was a little embarrassed. People were definitely confused why I walked in sounding like I had some sort of motor in my pants, but it feels amazing. I wore it through a very intense day in Magic Kingdom in July, and this kept me shockingly cool. I was sort of expecting to walk into this and think this was something that was not worth the weight of carrying it on my belt and also the recharging of the battery and all of that stuff. I just thought, oh, this is more trouble than it's worth, but it was very shockingly cool, and it made me a believer, and now I'm a fan of this fan. It is USB-C rechargeable, and it had, for me, I think I tested it, it had a 4-hour battery life when on high. So I had it turned up all the way. I never turned it off because I wanted to test how long in continuous use it would work. So pretty good. You're probably not going to end up using it for 4 hours straight like I did. You'll be inside, you'll be in queues, places where there's air conditioning or shade, not have to use it and pull it out when it really counts. So just remember to drink before you're thirsty, chase shade like it's gold, and don't wait until your body starts to break down already. You can't buy cooler weather, but you can buy some pretty awesome fans to keep you cool. Section 5, the room that forgets you're on vacation. Disney resorts photograph like paradise. Live in one for a week and it's themed chaos. By day 3, your deluxe getaway turns into a storage unit with character art, ponchos on lamps, and wet socks on the balcony. Here's the truth. Pros don't just pack for the parks, they pack for the room. Our staff tests every in-room survival hack, and the difference between chaos and control starts with water. The Brita 5-cup slim pitcher fixes Florida tap water. It actually tastes good. It fits in the mini fridge, filters fast, and pays for itself halfway through the trip by replacing $5 bottles from the vending machine. Next is the coffee. Resort coffee exists to create the illusion that you've had a cup of coffee. The team swears by bringing Nespresso pods or a French press. One good cup turns survival mode into a ritual. The first sip of real coffee in a quiet room, that's paradise. Then there's order. The simple houseware pop-up hamper weighs nothing, sets up in seconds, and keeps your clothes from exploding across the floor. Add a few hangers, and you've basically invented closet space in a room that wasn't designed for it. When it's time to sleep, the Marpak Dome White Nose machine changes everything. Small, steady, and brutally effective, it drowns out hallway chaos, stroller folding at 5 a.m., and whatever conversation is happening on the other side of the wall. You'll sleep like you're in another building. And the final upgrade? Smell. Every resort has that "we cleaned this, but it's still humid" vibe. A Febreze plug-in resets the mood instantly. Suddenly your room smells like home instead of wet poncho. You can't control the chaos outside, but you can control the air inside. A Disney resort room isn't a crash pad. It's recovery. That's sanctuary disguised as a hotel room. Section 6, the outlet that ruins your world. There's a quiet panic that hits Disney World around 1 p.m. It's not crowds, it's the heat, and it's that little red battery icon. That's the moment you realize your entire vacation runs on one fragile rectangular piece of glass. Tickets, lightning lanes, photos, dinner reservations, it's all on your phone. And when your phone dies, your trip does too. Our reporters have stress tested every charger in the parks. And here's what actually survives Disney World. Start with the system Disney invited into the parks, built for the problem Disney created: fuel rod. The kiosks are everywhere, and that instant swap program has saved more vacations than sunscreen ever will. It's the emergency fix, the backup for your backup, the difference between a meltdown and a memory. Now Disney's charging game has leveled up even more. The Fuel Rod Max 10 is the new MagSafe compatible model that snaps right onto the back of your phone. No cables, no ports, no hassle. It lasts noticeably longer than the standard fuel rod, according to our reporter testing, and costs around $80. Our team calls it a panic eraser. You can still swap it instantly at any fuel rod kiosk in Disney World, which means you never have to plug it in at your hotel room overnight or panic when your charger is at zero. For something a lot more serious, the Anker 737 power bank is the tank of the bunch. Recharges your laptop if you need it to, let alone your phones and magic bands. And because no one wants to fight cords in a hotel room, the Bellroy Tech Kit keeps everything where it belongs. Every cord, every adapter, every battery. Organized, contained. Power is not optional here. It's the difference between confidence and collapse. It's not overpacking. This is sanity disguised as voltage. Section 7, the crumbs that keep you human. Disney doesn't stop for hunger. The rides move, the parades roll, and at some point between lunch and dinner, your blood sugar drops faster than the Tower of Terror. That's when the people who packed smart keep going and everyone else melts down. Our AllEars testers swear by the Stasher 4-pack. Silicone, leak-proof, and actually fun to use. You can pre-pack granola, gummies, or trail mix, then rinse and reuse. They seal tight even in the rain, which is exactly why we use them during festivals and long filming days. For a little more organization, grab Whiskware snack containers or a Bent-Go bento box. They let you separate salty, sweet, and fruit snacks so you can ration energy throughout the day instead of inhaling everything at once. Paper straws turn into spitballs really fast. Bring a reusable cutlery set and silicone straws. You'll use them daily and you'll thank yourself every time you order something frozen. Clean hands make better moods. We carry Purell travel-sized hand sanitizer and fragrance-free wet wipes in every park bag. They keep your hands from feeling like a churro that's lost its sugar coating. Skip the giant bottles, they leak and weigh you down. And here's the quiet rebellion move: gum. Disney doesn't sell it anywhere on property. It's practically contraband. But it helps with ear pressure after a flight and bad coffee breath and that tiny psychological win of having something they forgot to sell you because Uncle Walt said he never wanted it in the parks. Families, bring a tiny deck of cards or a travel game. You can play Uno while you wait for fireworks and everyone stays human. The guests who last the longest in Disney World aren't the ones with the biggest backpacks. They're the ones who pack like they've already seen the meltdown coming. Section 8, the chaos you can contain. The meltdown always starts with something small. We've learned this the hard way, filming in storms, chasing parades, carrying 4 park bags at once so we can change into our disguises for hide and seek. The fix is never glamorous. It's all just preparation. Start with carabiner clips, the unsung heroes of park survival. Hook your water bottle or your popcorn bucket right to your belt loop. The aluminum ones swivel, don't snap under the weight, and turn chaos into hands-free sanity. And then there's the Johto waterproof phone pouch. It seals tight, still lets you use your touchscreen and keeps that "where's my phone" panic from becoming real. Our reporters have dropped these in puddles, fountains, and one small water ride incident every time the phone survived. Pack a Sharpie. It doubles as an emergency labeler when your kid's souvenir looks just like hundreds of others. Keep a Tide-to-Go pen in your bag. The AllEars staff tests always include it. One Mickey bar drip, one Dole Whip explosion, and it erases evidence before it sets. Add a handful of safety pins and Ziploc bags. Pins fix straps, hems, even stroller canopies. Ziplocs hold snacks, receipts, and wet socks after a surprise rainstorm. The overlap between the two is control. The control is the difference between a full meltdown and a clean recovery. And stash a few dollars in cash. You never know when you're going to need it, and it feels great to suddenly act like it's 1997 again. The people who look effortless in Disney aren't lucky. They're loaded with backups. That's problem solving on the fly. Section 9, the week you win before it starts. Pros don't start their Disney trip at the airport. They start it at the grocery store before they've even left, because the smartest park days begin before you even land. When your flight touches down and your fridge is already stocked, the quickest power move you can make before a Disney week. You pre-schedule the delivery, and Bell Services holds your groceries refrigerated, labeled, and waiting when you checked in. Our AllEars testers have done this at every resort they stayed in. It's cheaper, easier, and turns check-in day into autopilot. Water, fruit, breakfast, the coffee you actually like. Everything there before you are. That is the magic of this tip. That first morning, you wake up already ahead of everyone else. Cold drinks, familiar food, real coffee. You don't win the week by improvising. You win it by front-loading the comfort. You can't predict every disaster, but you can end most in 60 seconds with the right gear and the right groceries. Section 10, the lie of control. Everything on this list, every poncho, patch, and charger comes back to one truth. You don't buy things for Disney World. You buy control. People love to brag about winging it. They say they're just here for fun. Then you see them at 3 p.m. Shirts soaked, phones dead, kids melting down, patience gone, and they're back in their room. That's not adventure. That's self-sabotage. What you packed isn't random, it's your first line of defense. A poncho means you keep moving through the storm. A power bank means your plans don't die at 20%. A grocery drop means mornings run on your schedule, not theirs. You're not fighting crowds, you're fighting your own meltdown. The best trips aren't flawless, they're fortified. Because the real luxury at Disney World isn't the resort you stay in, it's the peace of mind that you're ready for anything. That's not over-preparation, this is self-respect. None of this gear is theory. We test it year-round in the place you're going to be buying it for, making sure it survives fireworks, storms, and rope drop to park close filming days. You can shop every item you saw here by scanning the QR code on the screen or hitting the links below. These aren't just good products and good things to have, they're the ones that survive Disney World, and most importantly, help you survive Disney World. If you made it to the end, go ahead and put this password in the comments below, and while you're down there, hit like and subscribe, and why not turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when myself or one of my friends comes out with a brand new video, something we do all week. See you next time. Why? Because we're serious about fun. Thank you.